Hi everyone, hope you're okay. So as promised, today's video is on mental health and meditation, and that's because that's the topic that we discussed in group today. So I started the session with a blank piece of paper with mental health written in the middle, and I asked everyone to shout out the first words that come to their mind when the word mental health is said. And we got things like isolation, stigma, depression, anxiety, fear, scared, discrimination. Now, it was a bit of a trick question, and I knew what they were going to do, and they did it. Every single word on there that they perceived as a descriptor of mental health is a negative. Okay, now the thing is, every single person on the planet has a body. So every single person on the planet has a physical health. Now, every single person on the planet has a mind, including you. So every single person on the planet has a mental health as well. And that's a spectrum. So it can be from excellent whatever, I don't believe anyone is there, to rock bottom, suicidal, whatever. Okay, so but every single person has mental health. How is your mental health and your whatever? So I think there is a perception, and I believe it's trying to be changed, that mental health is a negative thing, and particularly it can be for somebody who's never struggled or had any depression or never struggled with mental health, and they don't understand, and so they can't relate. And so you may find people who, if you talk to them about your mental health, they go, feel really uncomfortable, don't know what you're talking about, don't understand, can't relate, and they try and scuttle off. And that is kind of the aura around mental health, isn't it? But it shouldn't be that way. Okay, we all have a mental health. It's, you can have a positive mental health as well as mental health struggles, but we're not quite at that stage yet where people recognise that. So the second thing we did, I've got a mental health assessment in the workbooks, and so in it's got 14 different potential indicators of mental health struggles, and it's got things like eating or sleeping too much or too little, having low or no energy, and that means sort of less than you would normally have. So for a person with a chronic pain condition, go, I've never got any energy, right? But I'm talking about wherever your baseline is. If it's at like 2 because you have a chronic pain condition, if it suddenly dips to 0, then that's an indicator that you might have some struggles or going on in your head that need to be looked at, discussed, talked about, considered. Feeling helpless or hopeless, having persistent thoughts and memories that you can't get out of your head. Lots of different potential indicators of where your mental health is at the moment. Now, it's quite common for a person with a chronic pain condition to struggle at some point with their mental health, because they have to go through the process of accepting that they have this new diagnosis of an illness that they're never going to get better from. Now, when I say they're never going to get better from, I can kind of dispute that, because I can help you improve. I can't make it better. You're always going to have it, but you can improve, and that's what I aim to do. Anyway, I digress again, like I do all the time. What's actually talking about? So anyway, we did that. So a lot of people with chronic pain or chronic conditions do struggle with their mental health at times, depending on where they are on the sort of the acceptance road journey of that. So the second thing we did, and I hope we're going to pull this down and it's just going to work like magic. And here's one I did earlier. No, that's not going to work. Oh, that did work, did it? So the second piece of paper, I wrote in the middle poor mental health. And I asked the group to discuss what behaviours that we do when we're in a state of poor mental health. What behaviours do we do? And the things that they came up with, and before any psychologists or psychiatrists start messaging me saying I'm wrong, this is not based on fact. This is based on personal experiences of me and lots of other people who live with chronic pain conditions and have struggled with their mental health. So we're talking lived experience here, okay, not textbook or whatever. Okay, so I just wanted to say that. So the things that the group came up with is that, like, when you start to struggle with your mental health, one of the big things you start to do is isolate yourself. You start hiding yourself away. Okay, and the next thing that you do is you then start to beat yourself up about it, or whatever in life. You beat yourself up about the tiniest little things that really don't matter, but to you at that time they're huge. And in hindsight you might see that, but at that time you're beating yourself up about something that you feel is huge. Okay, so then what do? We eat rubbish. We stop looking after ourselves, so we eat rubbish, and then we feel rubbish. And I've done a video on that before. When you start eating rubbish food, it starts to make you feel physically rubbish. Okay, so that makes you feel, oh my god, I feel terrible, I feel down, I'm tired, I'm fatigued, I feel rubbish. And then you stop taking care of your physical self because you're feeling so rubbish. So you stop showering as often as you should. I can remember when I was at my worst, and I think I've said this before, and I don't know why I'm admitting it to the world. When I was really poorly, I actually went 10 weeks without washing my hair. Now, I don't have a lot of hair, but by the time this 10 weeks was up, it was like I had it out here because it was so full of dry shampoo. It was like volume, and I quite actually quite like this. It wasn't healthy. It wasn't a good thing. I was literally not looking after myself. So then what happens? You start to feel crap about yourself. You feel you're dirty, you're gaining weight, you're not showered, you smell, your hair's a mess, you don't wear makeup, you're living in your PJs or your joggers. And so you start to feel rubbish. You don't like what you see in the mirror, you get down on yourself, you hide yourself away, and the cycle continues of these behaviours that we do when we're in a state of poor mental health that actually makes it worse. It doesn't help us, it makes it worse. But so somehow we need to break that cycle, and that's not easy, and that needs support, and that needs understanding and recognition, I guess, as well. So the reason I do mental health so early on in the programme is because our mental health manifests hugely, I'm not sure if everybody realises, hugely on our physical health. So particularly people with chronic pain conditions, if you're stressed, anxious, low mood, it comes out in pain. Your jaw aches, your back ache, everything hurts. And that's your mind causing that. And so that's why I do mental health very early on in the programme, so we can start looking at that and get that to a place of understanding and recognition and acceptance before the end of the 12 weeks, which is then by then hopefully improving physical health as well. So, meditation. Now, I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit late to the party on this whole thing. I'm like a science person, like show me the evidence of something and I'll believe it. So this whole sort of law of attraction and universe and energies and crystals and things, I'm a bit kind of, just got a thing there. I'm late to the party, but I'm getting there. But what I do recognise is the benefits of meditation. Now, if you've never, what word should I use? Not entertained, thought about, considered, tried meditation, it's a bit daunting and you might think, oh gosh, I don't need to do stuff like that. But actually, it really does benefit you. Now I've got some statistics here. Let's have a look at this. Mental health benefits of meditation. So, positive side effects of meditation associated with mental health: increases awareness, clarity, compassion, sense of calm. It can increase focus by 14% and it can cut mind wandering by 22%. Now there are loads of free apps on YouTube, obviously, that does. I think the best place to start potentially is, if you're not sure what it even is or how to do it, is guided meditation, which is like, you can get on these apps or YouTube and they talk you through it, and you breathe, and they like do breathing exercises with you and things like that. And it really does, particularly if you're anxious or stressed, even a couple of minutes of just this meditation can bring yourself back to centre and put yourself in a calm, centred self. So we actually did, because we talked about mental health, and that's a really difficult subject to do, and it opens Pandora's box of all sorts of things come out when you do discussions like that, and they're not always nice, and sometimes it can leave you feeling emotionally drained. So what I did before we finished is we did a 5-minute guided meditation, which was about breathing and reducing stress, because we'd opened this box, we talked about these things. I didn't want everyone to just like walk out and go, oh my god, I feel like rubbish, oh I'm going to go home and cry. So I needed to close it again. We needed to close Pandora's box again and bring ourselves back to where we were before we walked in, I guess. So I use an app called Headspace. You can get a free trial on it. I also use Inset Timer and things like that. But I think the first thing to do is to try some 5 minutes or even 2 minutes guided meditation and work up to the process of doing a sort of a longer session, an hour or whatever. Because I know it's not always easy to find an hour of time, is it? You would if you wanted to. An hour of time. And to do your own meditation. Now I'm not quite there yet with doing sort of my own meditation. I'm still in sort of the guided meditation bit. But what I can say is, like, just give it a try. Like, if you feel like you're in a bad place at the moment, just give it a try. Just try some meditation. And it's not about kind of sitting there and just, I don't know, whatever. It's just try it, because I can't explain it because I'm rubbish and I don't really know how to describe it really. Just go on YouTube or search some apps for free meditation and give it a go, and it helps, and it does help with your mental health. I'm going to finish there because I've been talking forever yet again. So yeah, today's video mental health and meditation with me rambling for far too long. Take care.